Yeah?
Yeah.
No. Should we go for a record?
Let's do it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Right, let's roll the
Okay,
titles. Yeah.
he told me to say all this.
Okay. Right.
I don't know if it's true.
Right, here we are. It's the Man-Zilla Podcast, the inaugural Man-Zilla Podcast. My God, big word to start the show, inaugural. Crikey. So this is a new show. It's all about men's identity. It's a show all about getting the best of ourselves, finding the answers to life's big predicaments, navigating the complicated, difficult landscape that's in place to be a man today. My God, that is one corporate spiel bit, isn't it?
Well, the world we live in today is a funny place.
It is, isn't it?
Hopefully we'll make it a bit of a clearer place.
Completely. So this is a brand new podcast, so we want to hear from you. If you've got any issues you want us to talk about, if there's anything we're missing, do hit us up on Twitter at Manzilla Online. Manzilla. I don't even know what the bloody Twitter name is. It's at Manzilla Online on Instagram, at Manzilla Online on Twitter, and we're on YouTube as well. So yeah, do let us know. We've got an amazing guest in the studio today, real good guy. I'm with Jack and Lou as well, who are involved in this podcast. I'm really pleased to have them involved.
Hey
as
guys.
well.
Hello.
Thanks so much indeed for being here today. And we're also on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Google, pretty much everywhere. So yeah, type in Manzilla on those platforms, you'll find us. There we go. Right, let's kick off today's show then. Jack, do you want to introduce our guest to begin with?
Yes, so today we have quite a packed show, but let's get on to meeting our special guest. He's one of the stars of BBC Junior Doctors. He's a man who's a bit of a hit on the wards in many ways. He's 6'6". He almost banged his head on the way into the studio today. And he's a total charmer with everyone he meets, including the ladies. So he's
definitely, and I'm sitting right next to him. He's also a Nigerian prince, a man about town, one of the most stylish. Well, can I just say he actually is? I'm not just saying that. I mean, he's sitting right next to me, fresh out of Savile Row. If not the most stylish man in the medical industry, a total gent. And I know that Gavin was thrilled when he could make it for the first episode. It's Dr Emeka Okarocha.
Woohoo, legend. Thank you so much, Emeka, for coming on. Do I call you Dr. Emeka or Emeka?
You can just call me Emeka.
Emeka, Emeka,
Yeah.
I beg your pardon.
If you want to call me Dr. Emeka, that's cool too.
Oh, I didn't
some
pronounce-
people
Oh,
like
sorry, is
it.
it Emeka or Mika?
Emeka.
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 Gavin, set me up.
Oh, no.
To be
be
fair,
honest,
a lot of people call me Emeka.
Oh, okay.
A lot
Maybe
of time I
you should
don't.
put 2 Ks in your name.
Just change the spelling of my name, so
Legend. No, I really appreciate you coming on because, I really admire your career path, your career journey, what you've done. And you're obviously a role model for so many people too. How does it feel, how you've kind of become, from being a doctor, if you like, to being on TV and sort of doing what you've been doing, and now sort of getting to where you are now?
Well, first of all, that was one of the coolest intros I've ever had.
We got paid to say all that, by
I was
the
just
way,
there
it's not-
smiling the whole time. I was like, okay, Prince too?
He's not joking, he was.
Are you not? Is that true?
I hope so.
Legend.
So for me, it's been a very weird path. Obviously, it's not conventional for doctors to do their medical degrees, work, and then go into television. But I kind of got lucky when it comes down to it. Basically, I was working in my first year of being a doctor, in my F1 year, and the BBC just happened to be producing a new show, Junior Doctors, where they follow doctors in their first year and see how they're getting on, basically. Obviously, being very young, because they choose people who normally have taken a very quick pathway. So I went from school at 18, did 5 years of medical school, and by 23, I was kind of on the wards by myself on call.
Wow.
Yeah, left with patients. So it's obviously quite a big jump, and so they want to film that, put it on TV.
Yeah.
Market your fear and whatnot.
You come across, you're a very confident person. Were you like that when you first started, or has this come from?
I think that's just my personality. I've always kind of just been out there. It's one of the reasons when they asked me to do it, they were like, how would you feel being on national TV, doing all this, because we will be recording you, your mistakes, your good points, everything will be shown, and we edit it. And I was like, let's go for it. I was like, there's no greater pressure than that, being there half asleep at night, cameras around you, patients deteriorating, and you having to make big decisions.
Wow, so they go into your home and everything, and they film.
Literally.
Fantastic.
They came to my family home, they came to where I was living in
That's
Wolverhampton, they came to the wards, they went to all my tutors. They actually filmed me progressing from my first year, because as a junior doctor, basically they have to judge how you've been as a medic, and you will either progress or not progress. And so it's not everyone who manages to progress to the next year. So they went and filmed, so I found out as I was on film that I'd be moving on to the next year.
That's
And it was,
great.
yeah, it was touch and go, so I was like, whoa, okay. if I don't, it's gonna make good television.
No way. So you're like, you're known for being, quite a stylish guy. Obviously we can tell now, you're literally setting the bar so high. It's ridiculous. It's like in the stratosphere.
Do you feel really, inadequate next to?
Well, to be honest, I tried to up my game, but I am.
Actually, Jack is.
Gav, I think you look good.
Oh, thanks.
I got the memo that we're all dressing as superheroes. What happened? I've come in my Batman outfit.
We kind of like admire the way that you set a kind of like a trend in terms of looking good, feeling good. Is that part of your ethos in life?
Yes, definitely. It always has been. I've always been quite interested in like fashion and looking good and whatnot. When I was at medical school, I did quite a bit of modelling, and I used to work at Hollister and Abercrombie. So I was kind of surrounded by, like good-looking people who were quite into their appearance. So from there, I was quite into my appearance. I kind of like wanted to wear fitted stuff. I wanted to kind of stand out. I thought like, okay, how I'm going to dress is how I'm going to match my personality. So then I brought that into medicine. So there were a few hiccups at the beginning. So most doctors dress in a certain way, like how they look is probably the least of their worries. Whereas I took a lot of pride in how I looked, even on the wards. So I'd come in, I'd have like a fitted shirt, like a tie, which was obviously clipped for health and safety. And I'd come in and obviously everyone would be like, oh, whoa. Like, because normally the people who dress well are just the consultants, the people at the top of the game. They're like,
the ones that aren't practicing.
The ones who are more experienced, and they're not normally doing the dog work on the wards. So they're not normally the ones cleaning up the patients sick and whatnot and doing bits and pieces. They're normally either in surgery or running clinics.
Wait, so do you go to work dressed like this?
Yes, I could
you
work
just
dressed.
stroll into.
I wouldn't wear the jeans, but I'd have similar like trousers.
We should say you're wearing like a three-piece. You're wearing like a suit jacket, waistcoat, shirt, and then nice jeans.
So you want me to describe?
Yeah, no, just so you
got
get
black Chelsea boots, some nice fit.
I mean, I
navy
assume
jeans.
most of your suits are all bespoke made because of your height and size. So
exactly.
do you have a go-to?
Yeah, so I've had a few guys. When I was in Birmingham, I had a guy who used to kind of help me out. So I'd buy normal fitted stuff from ASOS, Marks & Spencer, German Street, wherever. And then I'd take it to a guy who knew my measurements. I'd be like, all right, can you cut this up for me? Let's make it happen. He'd be like, I got you.
And now he's your go-to guy.
Yeah, he was my go-to guy. So I've always kind of needed that because of my body's quite extreme to the fact that I'm quite tall, but I'm quite like lean and long. So I have like really long arms, like 36-inch arms and like 36-inch legs. So, but I wanted fitted stuff, but I needed it long. So I'd have to buy it big. So they expected, men's big and talls for someone like that to be like huge, but I'm not like huge. I'm just long.
I reckon you could save quite a lot of money by going down to the charity shops in and around like Marylebone and like the West London places and picking up some like oversized jackets and oversized trousers and suits and get them tailored because I'm sure
exactly.
There's some nice stuff around there.
Exactly, that's the thing. So I'm quite, when it comes to like fashion, I'm quite like simple. I don't really go for like huge outrageous colors and patterns. I'm quite more like for plain colors and nice contrasts and nice styles and basically something that fits me. When I feel comfortable and I look good, I'm happy.
Yeah, that's a good.
So it could be literally a £10 outfit. It could be a £200 outfit. Yeah. Whichever. As long as it fits me and it looks good, I'm happy.
I think it's an important, aspect, isn't it, guys? This idea of dressing well and the perception around how you dress. I mean, it's a difficult one for guys to get right, isn't it? Because for me, I agonise over what to bloody wear most days, and it's like being in a media career, you're judged on how you look.
Yeah, precisely.
And I think that's the case now for most guys in most lines of work. What do you reckon, Lou? Do you reckon that's something that you look at and judge guys on in their appearance? Or?
I mean, I think it's easy to work out what kind of industry a guy is depending on what he's wearing.
True.
I think a lot of guys also feel more comfortable being in a suit, and then when it gets to the weekend, they're like, damn, what is my casual wear saying? Like, what do I wear now? Again, guys that work in maybe fitness don't really know where to go for that formal wear. So yeah, I do think it says a lot about what a guy does and his mannerisms. And
I have the opposite problem because on a day-to-day, I'm dressing casual. I'm dressing for various castings. I'm dressing for various roles. And actually, when I have to dress smart, that's when I go to my wardrobe and go, ooh, okay, what have I got?
Tricky.
And I end up finding like a suit that I haven't worn for 6 months because it's just been in my cupboard and I don't have to wear a suit every day. So I find myself sort of having to really piece together like a really smart outfit more rarely than most people do on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, no, and I think that these days, people have a lot more freedom with their fashion choices. Back in the day, it was everyone wore a grey suit, black suit, brown suit, whatever to work, and you couldn't tell whether someone was banking, insurance, or whatever. These days, you can go to four corners of London and see all different types of
There's so much more choice
outfits.
now.
Absolutely, but in the same profession, to get artists and bankers and doctors, doing all sorts and wearing anything and making themselves stand out at work. I think it's great.
Yeah, no, it really is, isn't it? I just think like the idea of sort of trying to peacock and stand out is really important too, because I don't know, is it important? Maybe it's not important. Maybe being basic and simple is the way to be now. For me, I always think, I've got to wear something that stands out, a yellow top or like, a crazy striped outfit that's like, it makes you stand out where you go. I don't know. I get confused. I get really confused about how to do it now. Like,
yeah, sorry to cut you off. I think when on that point you're saying, I think when it comes to standing out, it's very based on your personality. I feel like if you have a personality where you like attention, you're very used to it, you're comfortable with being the one who stands out, then you're going to go for something that's going to be different to the rest, or you're going to feel comfortable.
Agreed.
So I feel like if you're not that person, standing out's probably the last thing you're going to want to do. So you might want to look good, but you might want to look like everyone else in that sort of way.
I also think Gavin looks great in colour.
Oh, thank you, Lou. Thank you.
I think it contrasts your skin nice.
Yeah.
Oh, legend.
Actually, he was sporting a great suit the other day on the news.
Oh,
The
right.
news,
What's it called?
the
news.
The blue one.
The blue and the purple tone.
Blue's my colour, I think. Yeah, blue is my colour. Do you reckon, all of us, what do you reckon that, in terms of fashion and attitudes in society now, do you think that men have got a greater responsibility to dress better? Or do you think that it's because I just come from an era when where I grew up in the Midlands. It wasn't like where I came from, dressing like kind of snappily and fashion with the high fashion or whatever, or with like a sense of style wasn't a thing, and it was almost like you would get bullied with anything if you did that. Not necessarily bullied, but you'd get stick if you were too well dressed. Whereas now I just think like the whole way that the sort of psyche of a guy has gone now is that you've got to dress well in order to kind of be somebody. And I don't know if that's...
Yeah, I think that a lot of it is down to the fact that social media has a massive influence on it. People can see, what people are wearing, they can post what they're wearing, they can share what they're wearing, and it's instant as well. And, I'm sure fashion, as everybody knows, goes in circles and cycles, but I think it happens more quickly these days.
Definitely.
And, I think that personally for me, when I go shopping, I buy a couple of staples that I know will go with everything, but ultimately, I'm like yourself, I can find a few things that I like the look of, like a nice jacket or a cool tie or, nice pair of shoes or whatever, and that's like my kind of item that I'll wear to death and then I'll get a new one sort of thing. But my staples will remain in my cupboard the whole time and go with everything I wear. I'm sorry, do you have suits and stuff that you wear on a day-to-day, or do you keep it mixed up?
So the thing about me is I have whenever I buy an outfit, I like to think, can I be comfortable in this like all the time? And the answer has to be yes. So like this, could I be comfortable wearing this 5 days out of the week? Yeah. But would I? No. One, because I like to wear something else different every day. I feel like I don't want to fall in that category of people who have those go-tos and then they have stuff that they bought that they've left in their wardrobe for like 6 months and never worn. So I try and look for excuses to try on different outfits and wear different things. Like the night before, I might kind of like go to my mirror and try on a few things and be like, okay, this looks good. I might wear this tomorrow. Look at the weather. Can I do it?
So you prep what you wear the night before.
Yeah,
wow.
course.
Okay,
I do
that's
that.
taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
I like that.
Saves a lot of brain time, that as well.
Oh my gosh, in the
right?
morning when my
Does.
mind and my brain hasn't woken up yet,
Exactly.
I need to know already the night before what I'm going to put on that day.
So sometimes it just gets me buzzing. Like if I have an outfit I know I'm gonna wear tomorrow, that's
I'm
gonna be
gonna wear
fire.
that tomorrow.
I go to sleep smiling like this, like, oh, I can't wait to put on that outfit and get out of this house.
That's just my excuse for leaving clothes all over the place. When they ask me why have you not put them away, it's like, oh, I'm wearing them tomorrow, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Tomorrow's outfit.
But the difference, I want to know the differences between men and women's shopping behaviours. So, do you guys prefer to actually go to the shops and pick up your outfits, or are you more of an e-com guy where you just like to pick things online and you don't really want the hassle of? I think Jack's more. You look like an e-com kind of guy.
From being in a background of e-com, I know that they do lie a lot.
Because you're quite good with sizes, though.
Yeah, so I know my sizes back to front, so
exactly.
I can but I also know which brands fit me the best.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're the same. You know,
Yeah.
you can find clothes
Yeah.
that you know, you go into say Zara and you know
Yeah.
that all the jeans are going to be exactly as they
Oh,
are,
yeah.
but you go into somewhere else like Top Man maybe, and the tops aren't quite as true as they
Uh-huh.
say. I always find that I'm one of those people that will shop probably twice a year, summer, winter. But there are certain things that I'll see in shops, or if I see online, or see on another guy walking down the street, I'm like, you know, perving on him or something, and I'm like, hey, I like your shirt. Where's that from?
Yeah.
You know, I don't chase him down the road like a weirdo, but you know, I'll definitely sort of look out for it. So yeah,
I might chase him down the road like a weirdo. Sometimes if
I'm
it's
gonna
that
take it
good,
after your book.
if it's that good, I just have a quick step. Hey, buddy, hey, where'd you get that?
If you didn't know this guy and he was chasing you down the street, would you be a bit afraid?
I'd turn around and give him a hug. I'd embrace.
Hey, bro.